Hi everyone, my name is Samantha Sliwa and I'm the Digital Media Lab Coordinator, and I'm here to do a video tutorial how to make this guy, the Sock Snowman. So in this video I will show you what's in your kits, what you need from home, and then step by step how to make the Sock Snowman turn out just like how this guy turned out. If you don't have a kit, there was a limited supply at the library that are available for pickup. If you didn't get a kit but you still want to try this at home, pretty much all you need is an old sock that's not too old. If you have a random white sock lying around, this one did have a logo on it, so if you do have one with the logo, that's perfectly fine. You can still use it. And some buttons, a nose. This nose was made with air clay, but you're welcome to find like another button for a nose, or if you have any shape of some sort that looks like a carrot that you can glue it on. And this is just scrap fabric I pulled out, make a little Afghan scarf. And up here is a piece of twine, and then here is some more twine. You can use rubber bands for this too, so don't feel like you have to look for string. For those of you who are watching this at home and do not have a kit, or now the kits at the if you don't have a kit, there was a limited supply at the library that are available for pickup. If you didn't get a kit but you still want to try this at home, all you really need is a sock, maybe you like an older sock, not all you really need is like a older clean sock, maybe something that got lost in the dryer somewhere. Buttons, you can use any kind of buttons for this. You can even use multiple buttons if you have any spare buttons at home. String or thread or yarn, twine. So you need two pieces of twine, one for the top, then one for the neck, but you're welcome to use rubber bands. And then for the nose, this was air clay, so if you don't have air clay at home, that's fine. Anything that you could find that would be suitable for nose, maybe another button, maybe a pin, or anything that is just like a nice little addition you can use for a snowman. It could be anything. And then this is a scrap piece of fabric that was cut up and tied to look like a scarf. And the stuffing, this is stuffed with, you need something that's weighted, so you can use marbles, you can use rice, beans, anything that will help weigh down the sock. And you can stuff him with toilet paper, tissues, anything that you have lying around, or maybe another sock. If you have another sock lying around, you can use that as well. So this is my Sock Snowman. We will get started and I will show you how to make this little guy. Alright, let's go. So the supplies that you should receive in your bag are the follow. There's going to be a strip of fabric, 3 types of yarn. You have this red and white one, and these 2 twines. Twine is a piece of jewelry, which I'll show you what we're going to use that for. 4 buttons, polyfill, and a sock up here, and then got some fluff, and then this weird looking thing that is air clay. So these are going to be the items that you should see in your bag. The 2 items you will need at home: glue. I'm using this tacky glue. This is for pretty much crafting of all forms. I have a glue gun that's going to be a lot easier to work with in terms of putting the snowman together. And then of course a pair of scissors to cut the sock. Okay, first thing, I do have the sock here. You might want to stretch it out a little bit first. It's brand new sock, so you want to give it a good stretch to play with the elasticity, so it's a lot easier to put in the supplies you need. Now where I'm going to cut, I'm going to leave, as you see this, the ankle, the calf portion is pretty long. So I'm going to actually cut around here, And then this will leave more room for this side of the sock. If you want to stuff it more, or if you want to rearrange it, it'll be a lot easier that way. And obviously you could always go back and cut more off. So I'm going to take my scissors and cut right here. Okay, this is step one. And you're going to put this piece off to the side. Then this is going to be the snowman body. And actually, I forgot, we should start on the nose first because the nose needs to have some time to dry. So you want to grab the air clay. So why I chose air clay and what's so great about it, air clay is it feels like a putty, and it's really neat because it works just like clay. And what you do is you mold it like clay, and then you could and then it dries, so there's no baking involved. So I really like air clay for that. It's just versatile. It's fine. It's actually a very great stress reliever if you ever want to have some air clay just to play with. Okay, so this is my nose. I went with a very I guess I'm gonna eventually have it curved up a little bit. So right now it looks like it's pointing down, but I'm gonna have it point up. And then I didn't mention you can use a pencil, you can use a pen. But I'm just gonna make lines like that. So like those carrot lines. I am squeezing a little bit, so I'm trying to avoid doing that. Okay. And now, remember this weird piece, the earring piece? You're just going to push it all the way into the nose. You know what? This nose might be a little too big, but we'll see how it goes when it dries. You can always, I guess I could reshape it, or I could see once, if it's not completely dried, I can just make it smaller. So I'm going to set this off to the side. I'm going to just set in here. It doesn't need to be in anywhere specific place to set. It's pretty fine just sitting out. It might leave some residue on things, so keep that in mind if when you're working with air clay. It does have like a weird flour water residue. This is actually pretty clean. I played with red air clay and it dyed my hands, so the orange seems to be working pretty well today. Okay, in this step we're going to work on stuffing the sock, or the snowman, I should say. So these are the polyfill beads. I think it'd be best if you leave them in a bag. You can also just dump them in the sock. In this demonstration, will leave them in the bag because and the stuffing. This is the weighted portion of it. So your snowman is going to sit like this. All right. I'm grabbing the stuffing. See how much you want to stuff your snowman. If you want to use a little less, might be easiest. I think I kind of ripped mine in two, so I'm going to use the bigger portion for the body. See, this is what it's going to look like. It's going to look very potato-like. You're going to use the twine, and you're going to tie. You can use twine or rubber band and tie the top part. So this is what I mentioned. If you want to use a rubber band, you can, if that's easier for you. So grab one of those twine pieces. Now this you're not going to see once it's all finished, so this can be left to reevaluate at the end, see if you want to change it around a little bit. So there we go. All right, this is the body so far. Okay, and now we're going to use, so we got the piece of twine up here. We also want to use a piece of twine to separate the neck and the body and the head. Right here. And once again, this portion is not going to be seen. It's going to be covered up with a scarf. So if you wanted to use a rubber band, like I said, if that's something you want to do, you can use a rubber band. So this is what your snowman should look like when it's all stuffed. So for this step, we're going to make the scarf. So you want to grab your scissors and the fabric. And what you want to do is, like a scarf, you want to make the little tassels at the end. So you could just cut maybe like on the lines or off the lines, however you want the scarf to look. Now, next step, we're going to make the hat. So put him off to the side here. So remember the ankle part of the, the ankle part. So bring out the ankle part of the sock, and we're going to make the hat for him. So this is why I gave you a red and white piece, because I think this would look a lot better for a hat. So grab the red and white piece of twine to use for the hat. And what you're going to do is we're going to slip. So I'm slipping the top of the sock first over the head. So this is all where the top, where you would put your foot in. This is where the top is. This is what the bottom looks like. This is where I cut it. Okay, so you want to put the top portion on him first so it looks more cleaned up. Get this whole long sock bit right here, so I'm just gonna, now you can do one or two. You can decide if you want to cut it down, you can leave it. If you want to cut it down afterwards, see how it looks first, you could do that, which is what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to tie the red and white twine over it, and maybe I'll cut it down later, but already looks like a cute little snowman. So I forgot to mention that when it comes to the nose, I didn't put the nose in, and that's probably something you want to think about doing before you get to the part of gluing everything. Honestly, though, I think putting the nose on once everything is done would work a lot. Would make the most sense in this way, because if you are trying to push it and totally onto it, then you're gonna really deform the nose, and it's not gonna look the way you want to. So when it comes to carrot nose, just wait till it dries. I'm gonna show you, at least for this video, how it's just gonna work. Now, I don't know if this completely dried on here or if you have to glue it. You might have to glue it, or just really pack it, really pack it on. This is, what is this? It's a piece of like jewelry that I don't know if it's supposed to be earring piece, but you can just really pack it on to see if it holds on to the post. And then the bottom piece here, this is what's gonna be on the inside of the sock to push it all together. I did choose a post that's a little bit bigger than this piece, so it holds really well. So that was the plan, and hopefully it stays well. And if it does not, like I said, just use glue. But I'm going to show you what I did, what I'm going to do. So I'm rolling back the sock. Just like kind of pinpoint exactly where I want to have the nose. So got a little stuffing coming out. So we do it right about here. Okay. Trying to roll back to see if I can find the post, and then grab the post. I have it looped underneath my thumb. If you could see it too well. Like, this is going to be the tricky part, is just to grab the post and then push it in. Like I said, it's going to really, if you're doing this with your air clay wet, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very hard, and you're going to have to reshape your nose. But if you were fine with reshaping your nose, you can do it this way. See, I killed my nose. But it's another way too. You could just shape your nose when it's on the sock. It'd be a little easier. It's all up to you. This is all your project and how you want to make it. There we go. I'll let the camera focus a little bit. There we go. Grabbing the twine again, or like I said, you can use a rubber band for this. So rubber band or twine. Just tying this back on. So with the tacky glue, I'm going to place a dot here, and I'm going to use a good amount of glue. Like, I'm going to make sure that these stick really well. So I'm going to use like a good pea size amount. One there, one there. And I'm using the red one here and the white one at the bottom. And you can put obviously whichever buttons at any location you want to put. So you got red up here, white down here, and then you see the glue's peeking in the middle of the buttons. I wanted to do that just so I know that the glue would stick well to the sock as well as to the buttons. All right, now for the eyeballs.
Oh, can I come in and see?
I'm putting so for the eyeballs, I'm going to put the glue, I'm going to put a spot of glue right here and a spot of glue over here. Then using the green for the eyeballs. Actually, I'm going to put the hat over the eyes a little bit. All right, and there we go. That's what the Sock Snowman is going to look like. And you can always play around with how the weight works and then how much the fluff is going to work with this. So play around, see what works for someone. And you can always adjust to if you want to have interchangeable scarves. If you want to change around the nose. Once this air clay will stay moldable until it dries, so you can play around and see what works best for your snowman, what you want to do. All right. Okay, everyone, I hope this helps. I hope you please send pictures too if you want to show off your snowmans. The Digital Media Lab has a new Instagram account, so if you want to share your creations and send them to us, and we'll post them on Instagram. All right, thank you.